Hello, everyone out there in Radio Land. Of course, you know you're listening to the Keith Harris Show Global Network right here on HotlineRadio.net, the hottest radio station all across the land. Now, just in case you're tuning in, all right, in case you haven't heard all week long, which you should have, today on the line we have with us the wonderful actress and producer Elise Muller. How you doing today, Elise?
Good. How are you doing, Keith?
I'm doing wonderful, as a matter of fact. Doing really well.
Good.
So, wait, are you on the West Coast, Elise, or Midwest? Where you at right now?
I am in the West Coast. I'm in Los Angeles. I'm from Chicago, but I'm in LA right now. And it's a beautiful day here.
That's what's up. I know y'all had some rainy days, so I've been here in the last week or so it's good y'all got back to the nice weather.
Yeah, exactly. It was pretty cold. I was back in New York and Chicago. It was freezing.
Oh.
But, yeah.
My goodness, yeah. I know New York, look, that's a big change for you. So when you get ready to travel back and forth, I guess you already know about it. So, you know, pack sweaters when you go one way and, you know, be ready for something else when you get to the other side of the coast.
Oh, yeah. Well, this one was extremely cold, though. This was just before Thanksgiving, and it was just like an Arctic kind of zone. I don't know what happened, but it was really cold.
Yeah.
But anyway.
That happens a couple times.
Yeah.
Okay, so, alright, so now, yeah, so you grew up in Chicago. I still like to call it the Chi. I don't know, did you ever call it the Chi? Do you ever call it?
Chi-town.
Yeah.
Chi-town, not the Chi. Chi-town, though.
Right.
But, yeah, I grew up in the suburbs of Chicago.
Okay. Now,
yeah.
How did you, okay, well, you know what, I want to ask you, how did you get into the field of acting first, but you went to school for acting and directing.
I did. Well, I have a degree in acting, directing, and a double minor in radio, television, and art. Mm-hmm. But, you know, school doesn't always necessarily prepare you for acting. It's just something that my mom wanted me to get a degree, and I wanted to get a degree, but, yeah, I went to school, so I studied it, and I also went to a theater camp in Wisconsin, where we put on, like, shows and pageants, and so I was always around the theater and musicals and productions, but didn't do it professionally until after I graduated college, and then did a little bit in Chicago, and then moved to Los Angeles.
Oh, okay. You know,
yeah.
I know what you're talking about when you say, like, your mom kind of wanted you to get a degree, as we all go through that, right? Mm-hmm. But, you know, you going to get the degree in acting, was that in the direction she was talking about, or was that kind of a way to satisfy both of you guys?
Yeah, and you know, she didn't really care as long as I went to school and then got the diploma. Got that 4-year degree, you know, but so that's what I did. I went to 3 different schools, but managed to graduate on time, which is a miracle. Yeah, seriously. First I was in the cornfields of Illinois, and then I went to a school called Columbia, which is not the Columbia, New York. It's the one you sign your name in, and you're at the school. I'm kind of joking about that. But it was like a fame type school, and I took the L downtown, and so I went and I would, you know, go downtown for school. So it was more like a city like atmosphere.
Right.
And then I went to community college, and then I transferred to the University of Arizona, and that's where I got my degree.
Okay, so you paid your dues. In other words, getting to the goal.
Oh yeah. Oh, I think I'm still paying my dues. But anyway, it's all good.
Yeah.
It's part of it, the journey getting there.
That's right. So, you know, were you intending, how you got into acting in general? Did you have the passion for acting before you went to school, or was it when you came out?
Yeah, no, I had the passion since I was a little girl, but I was really kind of shy and introverted when I was a little girl, so I had to really kind of come out of my shell. And I think I did that more after like junior high school is when I kind of became a little bit more of an extrovert. And I always wanted to do it. I used to watch shows like Lost in Space, and we had in the TV guide, there was a TV mail bag at the end of the TV guide where you could like write into shows and stuff, and I wrote into Lost in Space, and I'm like, I'll even play a Martian, and of course they never wrote me back, but you know, it's like, I just wanted to be a part of it, that whole world, you know?
Yeah, I can understand what you're saying, because when you know, like me, for instance, when you look at it, when you're at the young age, you kind of decide, like, this looks really cool, and this is what I want to do. Mm-hmm. And from there, you just kind of take off. Once you get lost in that element, it's hard to turn around from it.
It is. Plus, my mom liked movies, and I grew grew up, my mom really, enjoyed cinema, and so I did too. I enjoyed the whole getting lost in it, the suspension of disbelief.
Right. Now, so look, tell me how was it when you went to that first audition, Elise? Well, how was it? Were you afraid when you first walked in, or did you know you had a
problem? Oh my God,
on?
you're terrified. Are you kidding me? I mean, yes, I went in so many auditions where you're just shaking. You can't even act really. If you're like shaking and you're just in your head, you can't even be connected to anything. And it takes a lot of that to get through that kind of fear, really. Because when you're doing stuff like that, it's scary. It's scary if you're not used to it, you're not comfortable, you really have to be, in order to give a good audition and get in there, you really have to be connected to your character and not be worried about the external things going on. Really be worried about what's going on with you and whatever person you're interacting with in a scene.
Right.
So, because if you're not, you just lose it. It's just not gonna work.
Yeah. Then those knees start shaking and all kinds of stuff.
Yeah. I remember one time I went in for a soap opera, a pretty famous soap opera, and it was a callback, and I remember I don't know what it was. I took some sort of medicine, and part of it gave me uncontrollable like quivers, and I was like shaking so bad I had to hold onto the chair. I wasn't that nervous, but I was like, oh my God, why am I acting like this right now in front of them? And the producers were there, and it was almost like a disaster. but I got called into producers again with them, so.
Oh, that was all right. Yeah, because speaking of that, I know you've done like an episode, maybe an episode or two on The Young and the Restless, and I believe Days of Our Lives too, right?
Yeah, Young and the Restless. Yeah, the other one was for General Hospital. The other two were for General Hospital. But I did. I never did General Hospital, but I did get callbacks for it. Yeah, the other I had a little recurring role years ago when I first moved to LA on Young and the Restless. And I played Deidre Hall when she was younger in a scene on Days of Our Lives, kind of a flashback scene. So I got to play her, and she was, I think, Electric Woman and Dyna Girl. Do you remember that?
Yeah.
I don't know how old you are.
Look, I won't say how old I am, but I remember it.
Okay. Yeah. Well, anyway, it was pretty cool because, when you're like looking, you're like, oh yeah, I used to watch her like when I was a little girl on that show. Yeah. She hasn't really changed much. She looks great. I don't know how old she is, but I remember as a little kid watching her. But
yeah, I grew up. The same. I grew up watching all those old shows. So I'm in my late 30s. I'll say that.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, me too.
Okay. Now, all right. Go ahead.
No. And where are you originally from?
I'm originally from Washington, D.C.
Wow. Okay.
Yeah, nation's capital. So I'm from Washington, D.C. and then I moved to Toronto for like 18 or 20 years or something like that. And
oh, okay. Yeah, I love Toronto. I did 3 films there. Actually, I did 2 films. One was like put on hold for like 2 years, and I went back to finish it. So we look slightly different.
Yeah.
Not a lot, but like, you know what I mean? When you pick up a film, sometimes it'll happen. And then you pick up like,
what films?
A couple years later on something.
Right.
Interesting.
What films did you? Can you remember what films that were up there that you shot?
I did Club Utopia, and that's a recent film that I did, and then I also did Risk Factor up there, and I love shooting up there. It was great.
Toronto's a beautiful city.
Yes, it is a beautiful city, and I have made great friends up there. Frank Caruso is the director of films. I worked with Frank twice, and I enjoy it. I really enjoy it. We were supposed to actually go to Costa Rica for part of this filming, but then we just decided, no, we'll just keep it in Toronto and pretend like it's Vegas. It would take you on film, So
yeah,
kind of somewhere else.
Now, you know what? Speaking of Club Utopia, all right. As a matter of fact, now I watched some scenes out of there, and first of all, let me congratulate you because you did some wonderful acting in that. All right.
Thank you.
Tell if you can talk about it. I guess if you can, without giving too much away, and because people out there, everybody out there listening, if you have not seen this movie, you need to go see it because it is funny. It's got some action scenes, what I think is some lovely action scenes in it. And speaking of one, listen, I saw you running around with an axe or a knife, a big, and you're chopping stuff. Elise, what's going on with that?
Was somebody making a sandwich?
Hey, I don't know who ate that sandwich. I don't know, but
yeah, I actually was making a sandwich that way. I was just a little cuckoo.
okay.
Yeah, I have a lot of kind of fantasies. I mean, who doesn't? You know, killing my cheating husband. And one or two times where I actually did hold up a knife. But
right.
no one was harmed during the filming.
Okay, all right.
Okay. Yeah, it's one of those fantasy things. I'm always playing these roles where the wife is I'm being cheated on, or I'm this, or like this trophy wife that always comes into her own. I managed to play that role a lot. I guess it's typecasting. Weird.
Right.
Trophy wife with a wandering husband with a wandering eye.
Right.
Or boyfriend or whatever.
Well, you know what? You look good playing it. Like I say, he was in the movie, for instance. Like you say, he was running around, he was cheating on you and things like that. Now, with that, with that plot in general, did you ever? Oh gosh, I don't know if I could ask you this question. Did you guys stay together?
Did I stay together with who? My guy who played my husband?
Yeah.
In the films, generally speaking, you don't. Generally speaking, they end up coming into their own because that doesn't make for a good story. If the husband is cheating on you, or the wife is, or whatever, I mean, Americans don't want to see you get back together with them. They're a cheater. Unless it's, I don't know.
Yeah, you bet.
Unless it's on Lifetime, maybe. And you can work it out. You work through your problems. Yeah. That's more of a Lifetime show. I don't know.
Yeah, no, that makes perfect sense because in that film it didn't look like you guys were actually going to get back together. As a matter of fact, so. Well,
I think that he's got certain needs that I'm just not into.
Oh, okay.
Oh, you're funny.
You know what? Like I say, people, you got to make sure you go see that film. You know what I'm saying? so you can find out exactly what she's talking about. Now, what about Baghead? What was the plot?
Baghead?
Yeah. What was the plot behind Baghead? If you could talk about that, because
again, it's about four struggling actors that are trying to jumpstart their careers. And is there a guy with a knife and a bag in the woods, or isn't there one? And we're all, once again, I'm sort of playing this desperate, girl that's just still in love with her boyfriend who's clearly not into her, and because my character's a little bit desperate and kind of pathetic in a way. I mean, it's in a funny way, but it's like, once again, it's the whole, I don't know, kind of cat and mouse kind of thing.
Yeah.
But with that film, with Baghead's a mixed genre film, so it's not necessarily because it's funny, and then it's a horror film, and it's a relationship film, so it's a little bit of everything,
Okay. Now, like in these two films, for instance, you're playing this, as you say, this trophy, more trophy wife. You're sexy, you're classy, you're smart, and at the same time you're serious, and comedic as well. I'll add that in there too. Now, what are there any other roles that you would like? What's your dream role, or are those it? Because those are pretty good roles that you're playing, Elise.
Oh, thank you, Keith. Thank you. I do have dream roles, and I can't. I always want to do a period piece. Maybe play British. I do accents and speak languages, but I don't know. I think they'd probably cast the Brits in that one. But I like period pieces. I do like comedy, but I also like drama. And playing like a superhero or someone like superpowers or something, that'd be fun too. I
could see you doing that.
Yeah, like Maleficent. I love that movie, Maleficent. Of course, Angelina Jolie played that role, and wonderfully so. But roles like that are kind of cool.
Oh, okay. Let me ask you a question now. How tall are you, Elise?
How tall?
Yeah.
6'3". No,
okay.
I'm 5'6". Wow, damn. No, I'm 5'6", 6.5, 5'7".
Okay. Yeah, and that's why I asked that, because you have this look. You have this look about you. Speaking about the superhero, act. You seem like you could play that pretty well. I could kind of see you in like a Catwoman or something of that nature. Could you?
Yeah, I like that.
It sounds good.
Plus, I'm a Leo, so I love the whole Catwoman premise. That's cool.
Okay.
But yeah, there's so many things that I'd like to play. It's just, and sometimes people ask me that, and there's at times, when I'm not thinking about it, I'm like, oh my god, I'd love to do this, and then as soon as somebody asks me like you just did, I'm like, so yeah, there's a myriad of things I'd like to play.
Right. Can you what about the producing side? Can you see yourself doing any producing any future projects? Would you like to write a story maybe?
Yeah, I'd love to produce more projects. I mean, that particular film that I produced was years ago, and I actually started it too, but I didn't put myself as one of the leads. It was my friends that did. They were doing the film, and I helped producing it by getting actors and my actresses' friends to come in and audition and help finding locations and just basically just helping out with the production. And then I ended up playing Nova, which was like the Captain Kirk of Venus. Because that movie you're talking about is the interplanetary surplus male and the Amazon woman from Venus, or outer space. It was later changed to outer space.
Okay, hold on.
And that was sort of like the campy, Zsa Zsa Gabor, over-the-top 1950s kind of film. That was what that film was about. And we had all the fitness women across the world, around the world, playing the Amazons.
Okay, now slow. You know what? I got to rewind this for a second because you said you know that title, so you said it so fast. Could you say
it again?
Yeah, please.
Okay, the interplanetary surplus male and the Amazon women from outer space.
Okay, intersurplus male and Amazon women from outer space.
Right. Yeah.
That must have been.
And that's about a guy that's a cheater, and then we take him up to our planet to procreate.
Mm-hmm.
And then he kind of changes his mind. Sounds like any guy's dream, but once he gets up there, it's kind of torture.
Oh, really? Wow, lucky.
Yeah, but this is a campy film. This is an over-the-top. We had Michael Dorn, who plays Worf in Star Trek, or he did, and do a cameo. Mm-hmm. So, an appeal to that sci-fi kind of genre.
Right. Which, and there's another title I want to ask you about, too. This title got me. It's back in 2004, so if there's something you can't remember about it, stop me. I know you have a great memory. But this title got me, and I have to ask you about it. Vampire Lesbian Kickboxers.
I wish that I could go into a room with Quentin Tarantino and have him read that. He'd be like, Or maybe he'd actually like my film Club Utopia, because I think that's more up his alley. But the title, I don't play any of the above, but I keep it on there because Keith, you're not the only one in casting when they're like, so Elise, tell us about this vampire lesbian kickboxer. Because it's good fodder, They're like, tell us about it. What's that about?
Right.
And I don't play any of the above. I play the Waitress of Wisdom. So it was done by these Italian women in New York, and I think it did really well. I never ended up seeing it. I know it was on cable somewhere, but I never got the chance to really see it.
Right.
But I play this kind of Waitress of Wisdom that, that was my character.
I know sometimes, I hear actors and actresses say that. Do you often, I'm sure at the screening, a lot of times you probably get to see your films, but do you ever go back and watch your films, like just maybe at home at night sometimes when there's nothing to do? Do you ever do that?
Oh, yeah, I'm just constantly watching myself. No. No, I kind of find it really difficult with myself and things sometimes. I get super embarrassed when I'm watching it with somebody else because I'm just so self-conscious that way, but once in a while, like recently, I saw some of the films recently because I have an agent who wanted to see some of the films because he wanted to put together this other demo for me, and so he was like really wanting to see the films, and sometimes I'm like, oh, that was because you think you get better with age in acting. Well, I think I've gotten better as time has gone on. You get more comfortable. You're not as self-conscious. You're not, You're just. You hope to grow as an actor, but I'm always like, oh God, I could have done that better. Oh, what was that? And then sometimes I'm like, that wasn't that bad. That was kind of good. Yeah.
Yeah, I know exactly what you're talking about because things that I've done in the industry as well. Even with doing music, it was hard for me to go and listen to myself. Just even hearing my voice, I was like, is that me? And I wonder how it sounds. So I can imagine how that must feel. But doing why is it your act? Do you critique yourself on your acting skills in general when you go through that, or
is what's my acting skills?
Like when you watch yourself, when you see yourself in, when you see yourself, like say you are sitting down and you do watch yourself in a film that you've done, do you find that you kind of critique yourself? You criticize yourself a little bit, or
Oh yeah, definitely. Like I said, like I'll look at some things and I go, I could have done that differently, or God, was I aware of what was going on? I remember I did one film where I only wanted to show the left side of my face because I feel like that's my better side of my face. But you know what? That's not realistic to show the audience just the left side of your face.
Right.
So, just, and if you're doing that as an actor, you're not connected. You can't be worried about like how I look. I mean, everybody wants to look good, obviously, but some characters you're not supposed to necessarily look good. Right. Some characters you're supposed to look like crap or whatever. That's reality. It's not.
Yeah, that's true. Like you say, if you were worried about that kind of stuff, then I mean, hey, you wouldn't be playing the character that you should be playing. You would kind of want to just go in there and look like you doing your everyday life, and we just can't do that on screen, right?
Right, exactly. Well, people want to see also people that they can relate to. I mean, I think they like to look up to movie stars and like models and stuff because of the beauty and the glamour of it, but also people like to see something relatable and that can move them. And I think that's important when you're acting too. So I know a lot of women can identify with some of the stuff I played. When I'm playing these women that that are like dumped or cheated on, I've gotten lots of women that come up to me after screenings like, I know how that is, and I'm like, honey, that's the character I'm playing. I'm kidding, but they just want to see something. People want to see something that they can relate to.
Right. Now, let me ask you. Let's say you weren't doing. What do you think you would be doing, or not think you would be doing? But what if you weren't into acting? What do you think you might be doing today?
Sometimes I think about that. I know a lot of actors become like a therapist or like psychologists, psychiatrists because they're good at like it's all about the emotions and connecting with people, and and actors are usually very vulnerable people by nature. They're vulnerable. I don't know, but then I like nutrition and I like beauty, so I like things with beauty and nutrition and something like that. Maybe a dietitian.
Okay, I totally could see you if you weren't acting. I totally could see you in like a kind of like a makeup model or something of the sort, something to do with.
Oh, thank you. Yeah, like something dealing with beauty or skin, skincare, or like I mean, not an esthetician, but somehow maybe something in marketing. I don't know. It's a good question.
I can see that. Okay. Now, what before we got to get ready to get out of here, what films, if you can say, because I know you say you have a few different projects that are kind of in the works or in the talks, are there any things that we possibly can be looking towards for the future, or?
Well, there are a couple of things I'm reading, and one's a horror. I guess I like these horror films.
Oh man, yeah.
Yeah, I get a lot of the sci-fi horror genre, but I also like just like regular. What I liked about like Baghead, it was kind of I mean, I love Club Utopia and all those other ones are really good, but sometimes I like just like relationship films. Sometimes films that are just sort of about people. You know what I mean? Like just regular relationships, or I also like the sci-fi horror genre too, like where you're vampires and all that. I don't think I've done any with witches.
Oh, okay.
Think about that. If I was to play a witch or a vampire, I think I'd play a witch. I think,
I think so too. I could see you in that. But I do know, I do know if I see you, if or when, I should say when I do see you in a horror film though, I want to see you as, as the sexy monster killing somebody. I don't want to see you get chopped up, Elise. I don't want that to happen.
No, and that's happened to me before. In Baywatch Nights, I get killed by a vampire that's after David Hasselhoff, and Hammerhead with the half-man, half-shark, I get killed by the half-man, half-shark.
Oh, what?
After walking through radioactive, kind of like a garden.
How did he kill you? Did he bite you, or did he hit you with something, or?
Oh, yeah. Well, first I get these hives. I break out in all these crazy hives because there's some sort of, like, stuff all over, like, this forest we're running through. And then after I have this breakout, I run into this swamp, which is always the best place to run into when you have a breakout of radioactive like hives. And then the monster eats me. Right. And so I get killed in that one. I get killed in a couple of things.
It's
but
like
not lately.
It's like one of those scenes where you run into the swamp and everybody's like, "Why did you do that? No, you went the wrong way."
Yeah, like don't do that. Exactly. Yeah, I did 2 shark movies too. So I don't know. I did Hammerhead, Raging Sharks.
Oh, okay.
And that was fun, doing short. I'd like to do some more short films.
Well, hopefully we look forward to seeing you in some more films like that. Listen, Elise, it's been wonderful talking to you. Thank you. Very honored to come on. Look, I'd love to have you come back. I don't feel like we had enough time.
I know. Well, thanks, Keith. You're so sweet. You're a sweetheart. Next time we'll do the Skype because I work on it. I'm like, I gotta get the Skype going.
You know what?
And then you're like, yeah, but we're not gonna use it.
I know, right? I let you down.
Yeah, I'd love to come back.
I'm so sorry. I let you down.
That's all right.
Okay, well, we'll put that together. Listen, everybody out there in Radio Land, make sure you check out Elise Muller and whatever she's in. Make sure you go look up Club Utopia, especially. Also Foreign Land as well.
Yeah, Foreign Land, yes.
Okay.
There's a couple of them out there. They can always go to IMDb.
Okay.
If they want to check out anything.
Okay, IMDb is where they can go check out. Is that pretty much where they can go? The one place that they can go check out, or is there anywhere else they might be able to look? Or?
If you want to see someone's credits or what films they've been in or what TV shows, and there's a couple things missing, but they can always go to IMDb, and then if you see a film or something that you like or you want to see, you can always order it.
Okay.
Or go to your local video store.
All right. Yeah, that's right. Go check that out. Okay. Yeah. Elise, listen, it's been wonderful talking to you. We can't wait to talk to you again soon. And let's look forward to doing that Skype. We'll set up a date to make that happen, and we'll talk again.
Okay, Keith. Thank you so much. You're a sweetheart. Thank you. Thanks for having me on.
Thank you for being here. Bye-bye.
Okay.
That was Elise Muller, the wonderful Elise Muller, wonderful actress and producer. Make sure you go to the IMDb site and check out all the different movies she has been a part of. Wonderful, very talented actress. Also, don't forget to go check out the movie Club Utopia. It's a great watch. I suggest you go check it out. Something for the single people, something for the married couple, something to think about. All right. So once again, we'd like to thank Elise Muller for being on the show with us today. We can't wait to have her back. She's welcome here at any time. All right. You listen to the Keith Harris Show Global Network right here on HotlineRadio.net. Don't you go nowhere. We'll be right back.